All right, so I don't have any particular idea on how long this video is gonna be. I'm trying to be as real as can be with you guys, and I'm not trying to like post a nice background light and have a camera holding it. It's just like fuck just being perfect, man. Just honestly, just fuck it. Like, I just pick up the camera and I record, and that's what you should do for yourself and for your business, because you want to build your brand and you want to make sure that you put yourself out there. Some people are just too focused on being perfect and too focused on connecting and checking off each box, but in reality, like, nobody really cares, man. Like, I get views, you guys watch my stuff all the time, and I don't even make it as perfect as I need to make it. You get what I'm saying? So anyways, back to what I'm talking about. So I just downloaded this this marketing funnel thing here, and I have it right here. So I'm gonna just show you guys real quick, because I think this is very, very important, and I feel like it can help you out. So this is a marketing funnel, right? And this is going to apply to any business, but we're going to talk about detailing in specific. So awareness, right? This right here is going to be your social media, right? This is basically how you get people's attention. So social media, let's say YouTube, which is what I'm doing now. Let's say any way, like your website, right? So the awareness is simply how people like see what you are, or who you are, or what the business does, right? Awareness is basically attention, right? So if nobody knows who you are or what you do, then you basically don't have a business, because nobody's aware of it, right? Think about when you want to go, let's talk about food, because everybody likes food. So let's talk about Chick-fil-A for an example, right? Now, let's say we're hungry. We're like, you know what, man? Like, I'm hungry. I don't know what to eat, and you're not aware of Chick-fil-A, right? If you're not aware of Chick-fil-A, how would you expect to get there? Does that make sense? If you're not aware of McDonald's, then how do you expect to get there, right? So awareness is very important, and I'm assuming that's why it's the first thing on the funnel here, is because, like I said in the last video, you need to capture people's attention. You need to capture, eyes, eyeballs, whether it's good or bad. Majority of the time, any publicity is good publicity. Now, you don't want people to talk bad about your business, but, it's going to happen. But either way, they're going to, hear about you and know about you, and they'll be aware of who you are, right? And that's the ultimate goal. You want people to be aware. So let me just tell you guys some of the ways that I do this. So I'm gonna go ahead and write on this piece of paper here, because I'm do this for myself too, So some of the ways that I become, or I'm aware for my clients, is by posting on social media, right? And that's, foaming down the car, or taking before and after pictures, right? Before and after pictures. Just content in general will bring you awareness, right? And that's pretty much basic there. So that's something that you guys got to focus on, becoming or getting your clients to become more aware of who you are, putting yourself out there. And that's what I'm doing with this video. I'm putting myself out there, because if I didn't put myself out there, you wouldn't be aware. You wouldn't even know who Brian Felix was. You wouldn't even know that I had a detailing business, right? So yeah, let's talk about the next one, which is the interest. So right here on the paper, it says interest right there, and that's going to be engagement and introduction to positioning, your emails, targeted content, classes, newsletters, and more. So this also ties into that. So let's say you post a interior detail video, right? All right, so with that video, people see it, right? They haven't clicked to watch it yet, but they see that you posted an interior detail video, right? And let's say I'm like, damn, like, my car is looking real dirty. Now I'm gonna just go ahead and I'm gonna be interested in what that video is like about, so I'm gonna go ahead and click on it. You raised my interest now, and now I'm like, okay, what is this person gonna show me? What do they have to offer? So I'm gonna go ahead and click on it. Right now, you've raised my interest. Now I'm interested into seeing what the outcome is, what you can do, and this is like a very important thing, right? Because if you don't capture people's interest, now something to like consider also is like the thumbnails, right? Like that thumbnail right there is gonna raise your interest, right? Now if I put a thumbnail where I'm just like, you know, I made $500,000 today, right? You're gonna be interested, right? But you're not gonna be as interested, right? Because you're gonna low key be like, oh, like he made 500,000. But if I put I lost $500,000, you're gonna be like, whoa, you're gonna be very interested. Like, whoa, what did this guy do? Let me see how I can avoid making that mistake, you know. So it's kind of like getting into the mind of the consumer and just starting to realize, okay, like what did they, you know, what are they most interested in, right? So instead of just posting like a interior detail, put it like cleaning the dirtiest car, or you know what I'm saying, like kind of like make it more intriguing for the consumer, for the person that's viewing or seeing the video, so that way when they click on it, they're like, dang, like okay, if they can clean the dirtiest car in the world, they can clean mine. You know, I know it's a little bit over the edge, but you guys are like, you know, kind of catching my drift on how to create and capture people's interest, right? And sometimes you might have to go over the top, but it's all good, man. It's all a part of marketing. It's all part of the game, you know, and you just got to play it the right way. And I'm trying to help you, you know, understand that. So once you create that interest, you're going to go ahead and get that consideration, right? Because this is all like one step, you know, like all this is one step, but it all like plays into play. It all falls in line, right? So a way that I create interest is, like I just said, creating catchy headlines, or creating like, you know, good thumbnails, and creating like a good capturing moment, right? Like just writing on my blog, not my blog, on my Instagram post, right? Just putting something like, this is by far the dirtiest car we've had, or something like that, and they're gonna be interested in seeing it, right? Now they're gonna consider, right? They're going to consider buying, because this is the ultimate goal. You want people to buy and purchase your product or service. So now we're going to consider doing it to our car, because we see that you've done it to somebody else's and it was like far worse than what mine is, right? So it all comes into play. It's all like one solid motion, right? But this is just breaking it down for us to better understand the marketing mind and what goes on behind the scenes, right? So now that we have fully considered it, like it's a consideration, like I checked out your reviews, I checked out your website, everything is starting to line up. Now I'm considering it. I'm like, you know, if he can do that to that, let me see if he can do that to mine. Let me call him up, let me see what's going on, right? And that is the next step, which is intent, right? So it says, for intent, product demos and shopping carts, sales add to nurture stream. So basically it's saying that there's a intention behind the person, and they're trying to figure out, you know, if this is what they want to do, right? Now this is where most people like fall off, right? This is where most people fall off, because they don't have everything in place for their detailing clients to capture their last few steps, which is the evaluation and the purchase, right? So you need, like I said, product demos. We're just talking about everything is all one thing, showing them what you're doing, how you're doing it, and then they'll consider it. And then now the intent, right? You need to have everything in place. You need to make it easy for them to call you. You need to make it easy for them to get in contact with you. Now, if you don't pick up the phone and people are intending, like that's people intending, people are showing you they're like intended to get in contact with you. If you don't answer that phone, like I said in my previous videos, if you don't answer that phone on the first call, they're gonna show or move their intentions to another detailer, because you didn't, you know, cooperate with them. You know, when people want to buy a service or product, they want to do it like that. You have like a very like short window to capture that sale, because 2021, man, it's almost 2022. Everything is moving even quicker and quicker, and everybody wants a fast turnaround on everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I'm keep snapping my fingers, but You know, everybody wants a fast return on everything they're doing. So let's say, you know, I call you up and you don't pick up. I'm like, damn, like, you know, I'm gonna wait 5 minutes, and if you don't call me back, on to the next one, you know. And that's just life. It's just what it is. It's how it goes. And now evaluation, it's also like a part of like the interest and stuff like that, because people are going to check out your reviews. They're just going to see, you know, what you're made of, and kind of see what you have to offer, you know, why you the best, why should I go with you instead of another detailer. And it's just saying here, marketing and sales work to prove their product is the best. Basically, like, just the online reviews is part of the evaluation. And then the purchase, which is the last thing, complete sales transaction. Right now, even though you booked a client, you still don't get to that purchase. Right now, I've had a lot of times where I've completed the sales funnel and I get to the book process, and I'm like, okay, I have to go to this client tomorrow, and they actually call me and they're like, hey, I gotta cancel. You know, they either tell me like, oh, I found somebody else, or I got stuff to do, let's reschedule. You know, so it's kind of like you're never guaranteed to make that final sale, right? So don't ever think just because you booked the car that it's go time and it's just a matter of, you know, showing up and getting paid. You know, stuff happens, people have a life too, and it's just never guaranteed. But I promise you guys, if you do follow this, right, if you start creating awareness for yourself by posting your content out there, post it on your IG stories, post it on Facebook, being consistent with it, right, creating and building interest by doing that, and then people will start to consider buying your products, right? People will start to wonder like, okay, can he do that to my car? Oh yeah, you've done, let's say you've done a Range Rover and they have a Toyota Camry, right? This is how we started. People were like, damn, like they're doing Lambos and Range Rovers and G-Wagons. Like my car, I got a Corolla, so I can trust them to do my car, right? So after you've created awareness, interest, and consideration, then the customer, the consumer will show intent, and they'll go ahead and start, you know, calling you up, finding a way to get in contact with you, emailing you, DMing you. And that's when you know that you've gotten closer to closing the deal, right? So it's all about creating that intent, man. It's just, you just gotta get to that point, and then everything else will fall into place. But everything before the intent has to be on you, right? You got to put yourself out there, show them your work, do what you got to do in order to capture their attention, because people are always on their phone and they have a very short attention span. So if you could capture them with a, you know, foaming down a vehicle picture or whatever it is, I promise you guys, it's going to help you guys a lot. But this is going to be the end of the video here. I really do appreciate y'all for watching. I hope I brought you guys some value, some knowledge, because I'm soaking in this in myself, you know. So hustle never settle. See you guys in the next one. Peace out. Let's go.